So let's get to Miami Stanford here. Miami is a 29.5 point favorite. Stanford coming off the FSU win, but their quarterback did go down in that game. That's the other thing is Florida State knocked out their quarterback and they still lost. And then Stanford has to travel 3,000 miles, probably more than 3,000 miles. Truly the longest trip in college sports, I would guess, from Stanford to Miami. Miami's going to be fine. They're going to bounce back, right, Mac? Like you're a 30-point favorite. What do we need to see from Miami here?
Yeah. I want to see him run the football. I mean, you look at 2 games in a row, against Florida State where now listen, they loaded up the box, they did their thing, but, they held you to 130 yards and they held you to, under 4 yards a rush, which is a big deal. And that's something, as an offensive line, we take great pride in and want to get going. And then, of course, this last week against Louisville, you're held to 60 yards and losing on Friday night in front of the whole world. So I think you kind of take some frustration from these last 4 weeks because you think of, or 3 weeks, I guess it was a bye, Florida State, bye, Louisville, and then, just now you're sprinting into this one. So, let's go. Let's lean on those boys up front. Let's make a statement. And I know you want to see Carson bounce back too, but mainly for Carson, I just want to see good decisions being made. I just want to see him what he had done, everything perfectly up until this last game, not feeling like he has to push the ball downfield if that's not the key. If there's a check down open, which there were many a times, just throw it to him. Just play within the offense. Don't try to do. I mean, that was UGA Carson. I don't want that. I want the Miami Carson. I want the 2 years ago UGA Carson that operates within the offense, that does it his way, and does it the way that we need him to. And we just did not see that last week against Louisville. So I'm fascinated to see that bounce back. I think we surely will. And I want to talk about these uniforms too, because you're a big hater. You're a
Okay.
hater.
All right, we're gonna get to uniforms because I do have one more point with Miami. The other thing, we'll get to that. You're right about Carson Beck. I mean, truly, Mac, if he takes away one of those picks, obviously the pick that ended the game, but even just one of the other ones, they probably still win the game, even a game where you just did not play well. So I think Miami can still win the national championship. I mean, you look back at teams, look at recent years. Ohio State had that clunker of a game where they lost to Michigan, right? Notre Dame made the national title last year. They lost to Northern Illinois. Like, you can have a slip up. You can really only have one, I think. So that's where Miami's got to get it together. But you can have a slip up. And the beauty of it is, I mean, you had a slip up against a top 20 team. They're top 20 now. That's a good team. It's not a Northern Illinois. And maybe it's something they need to kind of right the ship. But the other thing I want to see too, Mac, and we talked to Akeem Mesidor the week before, like, you want to see that D-line do something. I know Stanford's probably going to try to get it out quickly like Louisville did, but they don't have the weapons. And who knows who's playing quarterback for Stanford. They don't have the weapons that Louisville has. So even Florida State was able to sack Stanford twice and had 5 tackles for loss in an absolutely abysmal performance. We got to see Miami's D-line look better, Mac. And I guess the real question before we get to uniforms is, this number is huge.
It is huge.
29.5?
Well, but I think that it's like that's what you need to do. Like that, you need to go out and beat these guys by 30
Yeah, you
plus,
do.
40 points, and everything you just mentioned should translate to the game. And I think there's even, I hate saying like you learn from losses, but you do. And I think that like that fuel better be firing on all cylinders. It better be rolling right now because again, all throughout, we're sitting here talking, this is the best offensive line, this is the best defensive line, and you both got punked against Louisville on Friday night. 4 million people watched, that happen. And so that you got to take that, to the heart and translate it to this next game. And that stinks that it's Stanford. Sorry, here it comes. That's kind of the mindset that I hope we see from this team, because then you can really start to measure, that championship mentality and are these guys good enough? That's what we'll find out, because everybody's going to point to the schedule and look and say, see, they don't play anybody. They don't do this. They don't do that. Well, okay, you better win by a lot. That margin of
Mhm.
victory needs to be dominant. We need to see you guys flexing your muscles. And that's exactly what they want to start here. So maybe it's not the smartest thing, but I am taking Miami with the points because I do think they want to make a statement here.
I agree. I think they will look good. I think they will win by a lot. I think 29.5 is
Big number.
ridiculous.
It's a huge
I think Stanford covers that. I think they win by
25.
24.
Like, what's the number in your head? 21?
Yeah, 21, 24, something like that. I mean,
It's a lot of points,
it's
30
like
points.
40 to 14,
Yeah, yeah,
Stanford still covers.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's just a crazy amount of points, and Stanford is coming off a win. They probably got some confidence from that
Real
situation.
juice. It was all an
Yeah.
inside game by FSU. Good job.
Yeah, of course. I see what they're trying to do. Okay, the uniforms, Mac. I know Mac comes from a proud military family, and we, as a nation, are grateful for the service of the Mac Lanes. I'm being very serious. But those uniforms, they're ugly. They're ugly, Mac.
No!
You are Miami. You have beautiful uniforms. You have iconic
You
colors.
know, it's funny you bring that up. Kirk
What are we
Herbstreit
doing?
said they're horrific. Kirk Herbstreit said they're like the worst uniforms ever. Their
Like,
normal uniform, just their normal uniform.
oh, really?
I think
See,
it's an Adidas shot. I think he's a shot at Adidas. I think that's
I
what it
mean,
is. He's a
look,
Nike guy.
here's the thing. In normal life, do I wear orange and green together? No. But do I wear orange and purple together in real life? No.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Those
there's
are
the
sick.
uniform.
I don't know why my camera can't pick up things. You just need to pop it up so people can see it. This
Okay,
is cool. This is super cool. I'll tell you the thing that would have separated it though,
tell
that
me.
would have just popped off is if they would have used like the neon orange
Yeah,
lining. That
there's
would
no
have been
Miami colors.
crazy. That would have been crazy.
That's what I don't like. There's no
But,
Miami colors.
you know, it's Adidas. If it was Nike, it probably would have looked that way. So, D-Rad, stripes
As
out of
a
there. Let's get back
as
to the
a
stripes.
if okay, I'm just gonna say something that is people are probably gonna be annoyed by. If Beck throws a couple picks in this game, do, do we say, look, his receivers are literally in
Couldn't see him.
camouflage?
Couldn't see him.
I mean,
Somebody, it was actually a Louisville guy, Matt, I'm sorry, I forget your last name. He tweeted out, "Wearing camouflage jerseys after Carson Beck just threw 4 picks
I'm saying
is a choice."
it feels. I just hope that they ran this by Carson at some point.
Yeah,
He's like, all
yeah,
right, it's fine.
yeah. "Carson, can you
Because
see
look,
this?"
this this is a sketchy situation here.
Hey, Carson drops back and all he sees is white jerseys everywhere. He's like,
Yeah,
"My guys."
guys, come on.
So funny.
This seems like a bad
Yeah,
call
it
at this
seems like
point.
a great
Read the
meme.
room.
Somebody needs to make this. Somebody needs to make this happen. It would be so funny.
Read the room.